And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Norwich, Connecticut. A 21-year-old woman was arrested after assaulting the manager of a McDonald's. The woman was unhappy with the amount of mayonnaise on her McChicken sandwich. The woman faces additional charges because the McDonald's manager was 29 weeks pregnant. Definitely not a Jew.
AJ, but that may be the best of the year so far.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Except for the too much mayo. I feel
I like that.
should have been not enough. AJ Benza, daily podcast, Famous a Bitch, also Politics is a Bitch, available on Patreon. Got lots of subjects to get into. AJ flew in fresh from Chicago.
I just got in from, my dog's with me because we came in from Chicago. I've been in Chicago for a month, staying with my sister and her husband, and Joey the farter. He lives there too. With his
Is that
daughters
the
and wife.
son?
That's really my nephew. That's my sister's son.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my nephew. We say brothers, but I'm his uncle. He's 40, I'm 59. So we've been together since he's a little baby. He lived next door to me as a kid. So he's married now with two little girls. They're adorable. So I love going home to see them when I can. My marriage is broken up. My marriage is over. So that's been happening for a while. It's not. I haven't announced
this a
it
recent
yet.
thing?
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I got a girlfriend. I'm good with that. I bounce back. She's a beautiful. I love my girlfriend. But yeah, me and my wife we're just doing the thing we have to do to keep the kids white and that crap. You're doing it. You know it.
Keeping the kids white, did you say?
No, not white. No, they tend to lean white. Keeping things right. Keeping things right. Happy. You know. All that
It's Joey the farter. He's a big man, right?
He's a jiu-jitsu expert. He's about I'd say he's 255, 240. He lost a lot of weight.
I got to tell you a story I've been thinking about for a while. Always stuck in my head. Farting always made me laugh.
Yeah, we know.
And when I was at the Acme Theater, my best friend was a big gay man, very big gay man, heavy gay man.
That got all the tail.
Name was Mark. Yeah, the gay tail.
Yeah.
Or maybe the back of the tail, the front of the tail. I don't know
That's
what side of the coin he landed on.
Right.
I didn't ask.
Right.
But we were such good friends that after the shows, we do the Acme shows, and we know he had the best apartment. Remember back in the day when someone had the best apartment?
That's
it
where you
wasn't
go.
the best house.
No,
If somebody had a house, we would have been in their house.
Right.
Nobody had a house, but he had the best apartment. We ended up back in his apartment. I probably had a few too many drinks, and I just slept over.
Well, yeah.
And we just slept in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where I learned my farting lesson. It was the morning time, and I, thought I was being funny, and I woke up, and I cracked a fart. But it was essentially a kazoo.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was 174 pounds sopping wet back then. And once he heard that kind of green or brown lit,
Right.
what he could then do.
Right.
Culturally.
Yeah.
And, I don't think he was comfortable with letting it fly, but as long as I fired the first shot, I drew first blood. He let something go. And when he let go, it was like Thor had farted. And I realized, big guys, that's why they sing opera. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like only
They got
that
the pipes.
carriage could summon that.
Yeah.
And that's when I really learned. I was humbled, but I also learned an important lesson about farting.
It is. And he is a big dude. And he was bigger. Now he's lost weight, but he's mostly muscle. But yeah, he's a big dude. So that has a lot to do with it. He used to eat a lot. There's Joe. Joey used to tell me wasabi beans are his magic potion for big long farts. And half and half in the morning with coffee. A lot of half and half.
Oh, really?
That'll
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah, maybe a little lactose
But
intolerant.
you spend a week at my sister's house, you'll make a lot of noise too. She cooks insane. We like kings every day.
Well, also reminds me of a story. Many years ago, I've been thinking about it because Jimmy just sent me a picture of Big Tad. Big Tad. You remember Big Tad?
I remember
Big
Big Tad.
All right,
Yeah, I
Big
was at
Tad.
a radio show with him.
Well, we befriended Big Tad, and Jimmy did, brought him over to Kevin and Bean. It was Big Tad's 21st birthday. I've told the story many times, but just for AJ. Big Tad and his brother were going to pick us up in a van and we're all driving to Vegas for Big Tad's 21st birthday.
Like Cash Thunder, or what was his brother's name?
T-Chance Thrasher.
Whoa. All right.
Well, everyone knows that.
Now, his real name is like Larry Newcomb or something,
yeah,
but it was T-Chance Thrasher.
T-Chance Thrasher.
He was, well, I think he graduated from stripping to escorting the other strippers,
Yes, right.
the female
Yeah.
strippers. But anyway, I remember Jimmy planning the van ride. He knew we were all going to be trapped in a van for 5 hours, and he said, "I'm eating raw clams."
Yeah.
That was his thing. I think, I don't know, he was going to use, Fresca as the propellant, but he's going to use the raw clams as the stink. Navy beans. I don't remember.
Told me
I remember
something about beans. Something
he
in a
was
can.
eating raw clams.
But something was in a can and on top of the clams.
He was front loading.
It's important.
Right.
Very important.
For the van ride.
Yeah.
And once again, just like what happened with me in the bed with Mark, we got in the van. He closed the door, and Jimmy was like, "You guys ready for some of this?" And he leaned over and a little squeak go out. And T-Chance, who was driving the van, said, "Oh, is it on?"
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
He just leaned over and blew up the van, and then just blew it up all the way to Vegas. And we were saying, "Tad, what the fuck is going on with your brother?" He's like, "He can fart whenever he wants.
Oh, my
he
God.
He never stops, and he
Really?
will not stop."
Wow.
You ripped the can off the wrong cylinder tennis balls, my friend, and now it is on, and it was on all the way to Vegas.
Phew.
And
all the way to Vegas.
my head was hanging out the window the whole time. I was trying to light matches.
Some people have a death smell, like something died in the body. If
I've
it's not
talked to
good
Drew
food,
about it.
What does he say?
It's like we all have the flora and the
Yeah.
fauna,
Yeah.
and people we blame a lot of people like, "That dude's got BO, man. Hey, take a shower, dude." Believe me, the BO dude takes a shower. I mean, I'm not talking about a homeless guy, but
right.
I mean, I'm talking about a guy who just has the funk.
Yeah.
That guy knows he's got it. He's in the shower.
Right.
He's just got a little different flora and fauna than we do.
Yeah. Well, my father used to fart in the supermarket when he'd take me and my mother and not tell her. He would kind of corner her in an area by the frozen food. She was buying meat or something. He'd put the cart here and I'd send it, and he let, these are the worst farts in the world. And he ate one meal a day, 10 o'clock at night after work, and then he was off for the races. But on Thursdays, his day off, he loved to play these fart games. And people thought that the food was bad at the store called King Kong. That's how long the fart lasted in the frozen foods. It hovered.
My mean grandma did the same thing. She would do it. Do you guys remember Price Club?
Yeah.
It was like a
Yeah.
precursor to Costco. She'd go down the empty aisle like dog food or something and just kind of let one go.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that because she was mean? I know we both had mean. I don't know if you had a mean grandma. We had mean grandma.
you
I had a mean
Really?
grandma, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
aggressive.
That's tough. No,
Yeah.
She loved me, but
Yeah.
she was mean. She was
Really?
even mean to me, but she still loved me. You know what I mean? That's that weird push-pull thing.
Yeah, I don't know if my grandmother loved me.
Didn't seem like it.
You can find that footage, Max Zapata. It always makes me
The cake.
laugh. But, I mean, we don't need the whole me bringing the cake, but we interviewed my grandma.
Oh, that would have been great. I wish you heard that.
No,
I gotta find
it's
it.
recorded.
I gotta get it.
Yeah, and she's not a fan.
Wow, I don't know how that happens. Like, my grandmother was always mad because, quick story, from Italy, right? My grandfather was a barber, and then one day decided to sell the barber shop because grandma was working as a landlord, making some money. She was a hustler, and he's retired. And he ended up one day having an affair, a fling with her sister, her younger sister. They all slept in the same bed. It was like early days of New York, that kind of shit. The day that he had a heart attack and thought he was a goner, he admitted, "Look, I have to tell you this. I had sex with Salvi." He lived for 48 more years. So all they did was, all she called him was a fucking on my beach. And that's all I heard.
Yeah, I don't know. My grandmother's hatred wasn't like I did hard time or, when I was beaked out on prescription drugs, I used to steal from her. I tried to set the place on fire once or
wow.
something. I was just a fucking regular guy who was, carpenter trying to get along. And then I got
She's
into
Italian or
show
Hungarian?
business. No, my dad's side of the family's Italian.
Italian, right.
She's, I don't know what, just sort of American.
Okay.
And then she married a Hungarian guy.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have the blood. But
All right,
this
okay.
is her from my TLC show from
Very warm.
1998.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I was talking to one of our producers, and she said you weren't exactly confident in me as a comedian. You didn't think I was going to make a living doing this.
When did I say that?
That's word on the street. I don't want I don't want to name any names, but you know.
I'm surprised by how many people know your name.
Yeah, I know.
I think
The whole family.
maybe it's because I don't have cable.
Yeah, rich
Yeah,
tradition.
if you had cable, you'd be asking for an autograph right now. You really should see my work.
I never think of Adam as a star, and I think people do, but I don't think he has big charisma or charm. But
And
he
bingo.
is intelligent. Maybe he gets some of that from me.
Not charismatic or charming.
Wow, how'd
According
you
to
do it?
Grandma.
How'd you do it?
Whatever you do have came from her.
Yeah.
By the way, just like my mom, taking it to the grave.
Yeah.
No cable, no what podcasting is,
No.
not a fan.
There's no way to know.
Now I'm going to check out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of a simpler, better life if you think about it. Some people who don't have to be bothered by all this new shit, it's just easier sometimes to not have to worry about the new phone, the new computer thing. I get I call it AIDS. I have computer AIDS. If I mess with this too long, it dies. I die. I can't. No, just hit that link. No. I can't start doing stuff like that. Can you send this to me? You got to clean your cookies. I can't.
You don't want to be burdened with the love of a grandson, for instance, like all that new technology about
Yeah,
Well, my
totally.
kids,
loving your
I just hand my
offspring.
kids stuff now. They, for 13-year-olds, know everything about everything now.
I forgot that I wasn't charismatic
Yeah, or charming.
or charming.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
You made
He's
it.
right. All right, should we play the intro for AJ?
All righty.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
It's time for Allegedly with AJ Benza. Called that so we don't get sued.
All right, we got Britney Spears up first.
Oh, by the way, I've been getting the best stuff on her because one of the guys that's working pro bono for her is friends with me, and he tells me everything that we don't hear. And the main thing is, and I've known this for months, and the mainstream media is just getting bits and pieces of it. But the father was embezzling from her so much. The sister was as well. The sister came out with that video and said, "I'm
Yeah,
good
Jamie
sister."
Lynn.
Full of shit. They can't stand her. I mean, Britney can't stand her sister. That's all bullshit. But the father and this woman named Lou Taylor, her former manager, this lady has tried to get conservatorships on Michael Jackson's mother, the chick who, Amanda, what's the name? Amanda, the crazy girl.
Oh, Bynes.
Yeah, her. Some decent people that you're like, what? Conservatorship? Like, that's her thing.
So it's a cottage industry.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in it. I know we talked to Dr. Drew once about this. He says she has to be in one because she's ill. But the more I hear from this guy, he told me when they say embezzlement, the father is going to demand money. And the lawyers they have that are going up against Britney are so ruthless. But I've seen the papers of all the money. They're still charging her estate. She still pays for this estate in Louisiana that no one lives at, $750 an hour. These are the people that still charge Prince, the dead recording artist, $750 an hour to do some nonsense. These are the people that are hired by the father's side.
Well, maybe you can tell me, because the other, I guess, rumor, for lack of a better word, that's coming out is he quickly filed for, ending the conservatorship because he's afraid he's going to get sued for financial abuse and all that stuff.
Well, I think he's going to do jail time. I really do.
Wow.
I think he's going to go to jail because there was some really bad things. And the mother's no saint either. The mother watched while Britney was being treated so poorly by this old boy. Remember Sam Lufty, that weirdo?
Yep.
He's a college friend of mine.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
Let me text him right now.
It was a bad dude for her. He put her through hell. He would hide the dog and say, you lost your dog. He'd hide her keys so she couldn't drive. We know about the father having to get an IUD and all that crap. That's disgusting.
What about this new dude, the Ashgar?
He's not that well received either by Britney. See, Britney has a company that does her Instagrams. They're not all from her. They're mainly from these other people.
They're odd.
They're very crazy. The ones where she's dancing to Prince or Aerosmith.
Lots of emoticons.
It doesn't. She looks bananas, and they want her to be portrayed that way because they want this to go on. So most of those things you see, they put up, and she has nothing to do with it. And she does look nuts because she has like the 2-day-old makeup. The hair is not really done. It's like, ugh.
She looks nuts and she's doing these crazy dances, and then the caption underneath will say, "I'm so excited because Tim Burton just came to my house and offered me a role as Tinkerbell in the new Peter Pan." And then underneath it's like, "Just kidding."
Just
like
insane.
they're very weird.
It's funny though that the camera adds 10 pounds, but it's about even with nuts. Like
Yeah.
you can, it's well calibrated
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
nuts. Like you can kind of just see people.
They
I don't know,
pop
is it
out.
all eyes or something?
right.
But you can see in those videos
Look
that
at
things
I mean, look at that. That's a nutty person.
don't look quite right.
No.
It's also
And look at the little, like, she's wearing the same stuff she wore like in 2004 or 5, I think.
Oh, shit, if I could, I would.
Yeah, well, yeah. Her body looks great.
she's dancing and being a little
Now-
nutty.
But it's not to say that she has to be financially abused for the rest of her life.
No, but to only have $2,000 a month to spend when you're making millions,
Right.
she should have money that's commensurate with the Christina Aguileras of the world. Instead, she has about 60-something million dollars. There's like 200, there's 200 and something missing, just gone.
How does she make her money if not performing?
She has
Is
a
it
lot
royalties
of
and all that.
Also, a lot of her perfumes, I was told, make in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, like what's her name? Paris Hilton is big with perfumes. I've never seen one, but apparently I have 27 perfumes. She does.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What? These young girls just came out. I mean, Paris is a rich kid, but yeah, Britney makes a lot of money on that, and she was going to make money on the new Vegas residency, but that didn't happen. But they've been taking money from her. I've seen the paperwork of the plane trips and all the crap they're doing. And my lawyer friend told me when the word embezzlement comes up, finally, watch how fast the father wants to say, I'm stepping down. And that's exactly what happened.
All right, we got. More recently, we just had Michael K. Williams from The Wire, who recently passed.
Great guy.
Also, I don't know him, but he's definitely one of these guys that once he passed, everyone went the greatest guy in the world.
He was.
I
He was
didn't
a
hear
cool dude.
as
AJ
much
knew him.
when he
I
was
know.
alive, but
Yeah,
tell
AJ
us.
met him.
It was, we weren't great friends, but I was in, I met him in New Orleans when my TV show was on all the time, every time, and he was around. Went to a strip club, and because we recognized each other from being New Yorkers, we like sat together. Greatest guy, you could just tell the way he spoke to you. He was always saying something that was very smart and intelligent and warm. And I told Gina that he said to me, because I had a column back then that was very smart and biting. And he said, man, people are afraid of us because we're so goddamn honest. We're too fucking honest. If we don't stay honest, people are going to shit all over us. We got to stay honest, scary honest, man. And that's the way he was. He was always like that. And this drug, he's always been honest about the drug problem. But I think this time there might have been fentanyl in it. That seems to be what people are starting to say now.
That's what you said yesterday.
Maybe.
Well, if fentanyl is working its way into everything, and how is it? I mean, look, if somebody said, well, look, you can take a couple of Tylenols, maybe have a glass of wine, go to bed if you have a headache, and you went, okay, but what if the 2 Tylenols were equivalent to 150 Tylenols and you didn't know it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course you'd be fucked up. What medication... imagine it was, or let's do a crazy reference here, but let's just say booze. Like somebody said, hey, you want a beer? And you go, well, yeah, I guess I could have I had a beer. We did the fantasy football draft, the father-son thing. We went to a guy's house. I had a beer. I wasn't going to drink more. I had to drive my son home, so I had a beer. But what if I drank the beer? It was equivalent to a 24-pack.
What if you got roofied?
I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like fentanyl is doing that. These comedians all OD'd over
Kate
here.
Quigley's not doing well at all. Kate Quigley, they say she's only coming back like lucid only moments at a time.
She
she's
was
always done
dating
blow.
Darius Rucker, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
know.
I used to. She was she's been a source of mine for somebody. She was dating this singer. I forget his name. He got in a lot of trouble. He was kind of taken down like in 2019. I did it on the show here. I forget his name. But she was telling me all about. He had like a rape room or something in his house. A real creepy guy. Anyhow, she was. She gave me that story. But she's always been a party girl. But Michael has always had a problem with heroin. He was honest about it. It found him. And I don't know what they say, childhood abuse. I think he was gay, but he didn't like to talk about that.
He was?
Yeah. Yeah. He just didn't like to,
What's this character from The Wire guy?
Yeah. And he actually said that he thinks he got so into that character, Omar, that he didn't know what Omar ended and he began, that kind of thing.
Wow.
And being Omar, I guess at that point he tried sex. Maybe he hadn't had it when he was younger, but he was sexually abused as a kid, and that can always turn you. And then the Omar role really, and he was phenomenal in that show. Omar was tremendous. That was before Sopranos. That show made HBO. That's when HBO became great.
And he was incredible as Chalky White.
Boardwalk Empire.
And a little factoid that I told AJ, you of course already knew. AJ Benza and Michael K. Williams both appeared on The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Same episode?
No.
AJ was they're watching Fame as a Bitch.
Jimmy and his sister were watching Fame as a Bitch, the Mysteries and
TV.
Scandals.
Mysteries and Scandals. Yeah.
Lana Turner episode. But Jimmy gave me that because I went to go.
Jimmy Gandolfini.
I went to read for the show, and they said, you can do this. We know you can do it. So, because every Italian was getting on. It was getting me pissed off. They said, Brad Gray said to me, you're too much AJ Benza Mysteries and Scandals guy. It's not like we don't have a shot to put you in a place because you're that guy. It's like putting Dick Clark into a criminal movie.
Well, and when famous people came on The Sopranos, they always played themselves.
They did. And I wasn't that big enough to do that. But anyhow, Gandolfini heard that would happen, and he said, I'm going to figure something out. And he got them to have him and Janice watch my show. And he was a really cool guy, too. Really cool guy.
So fentanyl is coming over strong from Mexico, and we were sort of talking about, if you're obese, you're getting killed by COVID, or fentanyl's getting you. We don't really talk about those two things. We got to start that conversation because I've heard about this for a while, but I don't. I think people that are doing drugs don't know what they're doing anymore, and that's where this is coming from. Now, I don't know, Max Pab, if there's anything about the 4 comedians who OD'd in Venice over the weekend, but I don't know if it was like because here's the thing. I've done cocaine. AJ did cocaine earlier in the day. We got to take the edge off the flight.
Hey, man.
It's almost 3.5 hours.
Spirit Airlines, that's not an easy one to go on.
So the thing about cocaine is cocaine in and of itself.
It's terrible. It's really scary.
But you don't have 4 people falling over.
No,
but if that was true.
It was a house party. Like they were all doing it together.
Right, but there'd be... Every celebrity who was around in the 70s and 80s, where they'd all be cleaned out by now. There's something going on with that cocaine.
Yeah.
Heroin, look, I'm not an expert, but the guys who do heroin. Like they understand the amount and the prep and like what they know the protocol. So something's in that they're not planning on.
That's the scary part. You have a drug dealer that you trust, that's fine. But sometimes when you're not around your drug dealer or you're in another city and you want to get something, you're taking a chance because you don't know the people.
I just had this conversation with my kids. I was like, you need a drug dealer you can trust.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
There's something called integrity.
Somebody with references.
You don't stepping on that shit. Yeah, but it again, I'll screw up the math, but if cocaine is X amount for a gram and fentanyl is 1/10 the price and nobody can tell because the consistency's the same, it makes sense that they're going to start stepping on it.
Oh, yeah. And a cop last week or two inhaled some in the car, and he was dying. He was overdosing from inhaling it. The fumes, and they had to give him the Narcan shit to get him out.
But don't the Chinese and the cartel realize this is just bad business?
I was about
when you're
to say,
off
a
your
dead
clientele?
customer is no good.
Yeah.
But to fuck with America, they love that.
TMZ did report that cocaine was laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the Venice thing, the house party thing, I guess. Yeah, I would assume in the past, I'll get this a little wrong, but the people that were dying sort of Heath Ledger-like, they were mixing.
Well, yes, but
that
also,
wasn't a fentanyl thing, but now it's a fentanyl thing.
Yeah, well, Hoffman just fell back off. He was off doing heroin for a long time, and sometimes that happens to you. Like alcoholics will play the same thing. They haven't drank for 51 years, and all of a sudden they'll have 1 or 2 in one night, and they'll die. Same thing with a cokehead. Haven't done coke in 50 years, 40 years, and then one night they'll do a few lines and they die. It's a very strange phenomenon, but it does happen. But one more thing about Britney I've got to tell you, it's really important. Because I watch TMZ. I love catching to see what they say. They're usually on the money with everything. They used to be. Not as much now. Now it's a little more, I don't know. It's like a black show. It's always black rappers, black... what am I watching? Is this BET? It's fucking TMZ. So Harvey Levin... I go, no, these stories about Britney, that don't smell right to me. That's bullshit. That didn't happen. The thing about the getting caught in the bedroom with the coffee cup, remember they had to, like a month ago, she went in the bathroom and left her coffee cup in there, and then she couldn't get out of the bathroom. The door was locked, and no one can hear her. She was yelling. The point is, it was nothing, but they got, what I'm saying is, the father alerts Harvey. He feeds Harvey items like crazy. And my lawyer friend even said, you're right about that. I checked out.
To make her sound crazy.
Yeah, Jamie Spears spent, and he pays them. He spent $330,000. His company is called Media Matters or some shit. He works. So I'm not saying Harvey's always doing this stuff, but he's done it in the past.
Well, that would make sense with that. Like after this happened, there was that random story about like the housekeeper and the dog.
That's what I mean.
But everything's fine
it's
now.
Like, it's not a story. It's just, let's show how crazy she is. Let's do some more shit on her.
Right.
What, speaking of crazy and dogs, I noticed you brought your dog with you.
I did. You know why?
Didn't your dog die on the flight last time?
No, that's my dog from many years ago, Cesare. He did die in the plane.
Different dog?
Different dog. This is a Shih Tzu named Tootsie. But Tootsie, I just got back from Chicago. I'm not staying with my wife and kids. I'm in a hotel. And this hotel is dog friendly, but I couldn't leave her in a room because she'd go fucking bananas and they would be like, you got to get out. You know, you can't. She'd howl for me for hours. So I said, she's quiet when she's with me, so I'll just bring her. Yeah, she's a sweet dog.
All right. We got, let's see.
And by the way,
who else did we want to talk about?
I want to get to this because it's funny. You guys will like it. I was getting mad at Kourtney Kardashian and Travis
Barker
for always being public displays of affection. Too much, right?
Yeah, if you watch TMZ,
everywhere
they're all on top of each other everywhere.
On gondolas.
Yeah.
On gondolas, on like camping trips, or Winnebago trips. He's like picking her up and spreading her ass cheeks and stuff. Like it's really. Also, who knew? Like when I was a kid, once you were over 40, you were done. Like there's your pipe, there's your cardigan. Read the sports page, old man. There was no grabbing ass cheeks and dry humping on gondolas.
Double tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, he's 42, she's 41 or something like that. It just didn't exist.
Yes, of course. But here's the fun thing. I heard from people inside the Kardashian
He's 45, if you want to feel old.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. I mean, look, they're in love. That's great. I know that feeling. It's wonderful when you want to be with somebody all the time. However, the word I heard is that Scott Disick never went down on Kourtney. That wasn't his thing. Like DJ Khaled won't do it?
Yeah, he won't.
Very open about it?
Only thing.
Wait, is it because his head's too wide? Or is this an attitudinal problem?
No, another one. He doesn't say that too often. And Travis apparently is packing to the point where his nickname for his piece is El Diablo.
It's always the skinny guy.
So she's getting it good, and she wasn't getting it right with Scott. Can't not go down on your girl and then have your tattooed neighbor bring El Diablo over.
Scott is
Christ.
and I don't know. I'm not basing this on anything. Scott is a straight man.
Straight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's with Harry Hamlin and Lisa Rinna. They just broke up. He's with 19 and 20-year-olds. Sophia Richie. He's got 3 kids.
Oh right.
And he looks like some people think he's gorgeous. Some girls think he's a schmuck. He got very lucky. He was always a rich kid, born wealthy father, lived out in the Hamptons area. Had money to burn, always, made a ton more with them, but he really does not have a talent. There's nothing for him to do. So one day they made him a show on TV because he has fans. And the show was like, he's going to come to your house and make it cooler, or some stupid thing that didn't work. But the guy just fails, and he gets hot girls, but they're girls. They're little girls, and he's got children. And now
he
got El Diablo
literally dates 19 and 20-year-olds.
He's 38, she was 19, on 18 when they met. And Harry Hamlin and Lisa were like, what are you going to do? You're going to fucking stop it. What are you going to do? Say not now, not yet, no.
Yeah, that's not the Harry Hamlin I know.
Yeah, come on, Harry. What about the Harry from...
L.A. Law?
No, I'm trying to think. Dad, he did... It was like Sinbad or something. He did one of those weird...
Oh, really?
Yeah, Harry Hamlin...
Good-looking dude. He spent a lot of time being a good-looking dude in Hollywood.
He did one of those movies that's like
Clash of the
Sinbad. Yeah, this bad claymation, stupid, early 80s, like weird movies. Remember
81.
Remember that weird genre of just like, what is it? Well, it's Gulliver Travels meets Star Wars. Like, okay.
It's a lot of miniatures.
It all feels like gay porn at this point. It's a sort of the Beastmaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what were the ferrets' name, Dawson and Beastmaster?
Kodo and Podo.
Okay.
My thieves.
My point is, there's a weird genre of doing battle with the Cyclops or something, and things were like claymated, and you had a sword, and it was loosely based on a guy looking good in like a chest piece, like an armored thing, and
armored piece,
yeah, and they were kind of looked like conquistadors, but modern day. It was all very gay, but Harry Hamlin we should take a Rotten Tomatoes guess on that. What was that movie?
Clash of
the Titans. Yeah.
Hey, can I put AJ on the spot? You mentioned Lisa Rinna, my wife, watches the Beverly Hills Housewives, but I am interested in the Erica Jane thing because that's actually like a real life scandal. It's not just reality show bullshit. So what do you know about that?
Tell us what you're talking about.
Oh, this woman, well, AJ probably knows better, but this one of the characters on Beverly Hills Housewives, her husband's a very powerful lawyer, Tom Girardi. And he's accused of some pretty serious shit.
Well, what he was doing, he was financing her career, right? Giving her millions, because she wanted to be a singer. None of us know her fucking music. We've never seen her perform, but she sings.
Pia Zadora.
There you go. Remember, who was her husband again? Manukum?
I don't know.
Something Rickless?
Like something from somewhere who financed some things. Yes.
Meshulam Rickless. Anyhow. So he was financing her, but he had made these big settlements. Tremendous lawyer. Big settlements, 2 of which were from an airplane that went down and people died. And some people didn't die, but got very injured. People owed millions, and he kept like telling them it's coming, and he would just take their money and then like send a check for $50,000, but say there's a tie up. He was so crooked like that, and now how anybody can how can she do the show when all she is going to be questioned about that constantly? Because they know she has no money.
Supposedly, allegedly, she may have been involved in some of the money laundering.
That's what they think. Yeah. I think so, but I don't know for sure if that's true. But I could see that happening. She's a very opportunistic chick. This one,
and she's trying to change her image, I imagine.
Well, they divorced very quickly.
He's going to die. Yeah, he's going to die. He's like, I think he's like very ill all of a sudden.
Is he an elderly fella?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has Parkinson's or dementia. Some just came down the pike. Maybe a little dementia set in, I think.
You know, Travis is named his hog, El Diablo.
Yeah.
Mine's elderly fella. It's close.
It's almost there.
It's just a little off. Like if you squint, it'll sound, if I say it fast. Do I say hi to elderly fella? You say El Diablo? El Diablo. Good enough. All right. We have an outro for AJ.
We have to play it.
We have to
play it.
Hey,
that was Allegedly with AJ Benza. Called that so we don't get sued. All views and opinions expressed in this segment are lightly researched and or complete conjecture based on hearsay and rumor from loose connections within the entertainment industry. There is no concrete way to prove that any of the claims made by AJ are in fact accurate and not libelous or defamatory. But again, we remind any legal representation who may be listening that the view and opinions expressed belong to AJ and only AJ, host of Fame is a Bitch, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Now, the thing is, thank you for that, but I'll tell you, do you think anybody would sue you for making sure you say his name for his dick is El Diablo? That's like the greatest thing for the world to know.
Yeah.
Why would he get mad at me for that?
Keep that going.
No, I know. I do feel like all the guys who magically screw up with the dick pics and I was trying to send it to my girlfriend, but I sent it to Harvey Levin instead. It's like magically have a huge hog. It's not a coincidence.
No micro dick pics ever get out.
They don't get out.
No.
Yeah, wasn't it Hemsworth or something, or who was it that did that?
Hammer.
There was Chris.
But they said like, oh, he's really depressed and he has bad anxiety over it. Like, don't talk about it.
About his dick pic?
Yeah, this big old.
Oh, that's what he has anxiety because it's too big.
Who was the one?
God.
Who was
There
the
was
guy?
Captain America.
Brian will know this because I don't know.
Chris Hemsworth.
No, who was the one from Knives Out that's also in that kind of stuff?
Liam
Evans.
Oh, Chris
Evans.
Evans. Yes, he is
Thank
hung.
you.
I've heard that he's hung.
Isn't that Captain America?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that though.
Captain
I'll give
America
you
should
Captain
be hung.
America and Chris. Come on,
He
AJ.
should be hung, Captain
and Big
America.
Dick.
Yeah, you got it.
They said leave him alone. He has anxiety about this getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Everything
posted,
is anxiety
he
now.
posted a screenshot of his photos, but the photo album in the bottom was in the screenshot from his phone, and you could see one of them was like a dick pic.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, sometimes that happens, but it never happens to a guy with a micro dick. He never
That's the
suddenly
point.
She shows you a little pill. Is that your dick? No, that's not the big ones. Somehow they get out,
Yep.
Yeah.
find their way out.
It's the first Avenger right there.
Yeah. These are the guys in the stands of the ball game, and it's 71 degrees, and they're like, oh, this cotton tee is so... I'm frying in here, man.
It's a binding.
Yeah, I think I'll take the shirt off, but not by pulling it up. No. I'll reach to the back and tear it over my head.
Slow-mo.
So I can unveil my abs.
Those are the guys.
All right, let me tell you about Podium. Everything is on demand these days. Big movie releases at home, curbside pickup for groceries, and that's why more than 90,000 local businesses have turned to Podium. Podium makes doing business as easy as sending a text, answering questions, collecting reviews, scheduling appointments or delivery, payment collection. Just send a text. That's what you can do with Podium. There's a car dealership, and the dealer sold a $50,000 truck, and with just 4 text messages, boom, 50 grand worth of truck in just 4 text messages. Local service professionals, a dentist in New York City, had $1 million in overdue collections. He sent everyone a text payment request and collected $700,000 in just 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's Podium, right, Dawson?
Today's customers expect on-demand everything, even from local businesses. Stay ahead of the competition with Podium. They have free plans for growing businesses, plus all the power growing businesses need to scale. Get started free today at podium.com/Adam. That's podium.com/Adam.
Real quick, Katie Cuoco, she's divorced her husband.
Big Bang Theory, Katie Cuoco.
Big Bang, and now guess who she's getting big banged by?
Who?
Pete Davidson.
What?
I knew it.
Wait. What happened to the Bridgerton girl?
That ended.
It just started.
That ended about a week and a half ago.
This guy.
I told you.
That's what happens. When you got a hot chick like Beckinsale, then every girl wants to figure out what it was. What is it?
I told you. It's always been my theory. Always been my theory.
Unbelievable.
That what?
Well,
you just get the really hot chick.
You start with Ariana Grande.
Here's the wiring. Women, while they're aesthetically wired, they're not nearly to the extent that men are. Oh, I'll do you one. Aha! I've stumbled onto a truth. I'm going to do a preemptive sniff. Okay. I feel that positive about this. Wow. Men are aesthetically oriented. We like seeing pictures and visuals and porn and Playboys and stuff like that. Women are aesthetically oriented toward other women.
Yes.
That's why they go, she's so beautiful.
True.
Oh, and it's like, you've heard women all the time, like, I'm not a lesbian, but I would definitely sleep with her. Like, there's no guy version of that.
No, we don't do
They
that.
like the female form.
Yeah.
So when a guy like Pete Davidson starts banging
the little girl.
Yes.
Ariana
Ariana Grande, the rest of the women, they don't go, he's beautiful. They go, she's beautiful. Now, the guys would go, we do it the other way around.
Yeah.
We want she and not he.
Yeah.
But they go, he's banging a hot chick. And the form is beautiful. And I would go down on Ariana Grande. So now they start lining up for Pete Davidson, but they're not really looking at Pete Davidson.
As a proxy.
They're looking at his roster.
That's exactly right.
Is there any, it's not like when Ted Danson was banging Whoopi Goldberg. So I'm like, I gotta get some of that pussy. I'm still no closer to fucking Whoopi Goldberg.
Right.
Look, Ted Danson is a good-looking dude.
Sure.
He's still a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
30 years ago, when he was with Whoopi, he was a leading man.
Absolutely.
Did that get the average male 1 millimeter closer to wanting to bang Whoopi? Zero. That's my point.
That's a very astute point. Because it's absolutely true that if a guy dates a beauty out of nowhere, like no one thinks Pete Davidson's going to land a Kate Beckinsale. But when he does, she only did it because Ariana Grande did it, and it creates this effect, and we got to come up with a name for it. There's an effect that every...
The Domaho.
The Domaho?
It's a domino with hose.
Okay, Domaho, good. The Domaho effect. I love it.
You knock over your first.
Domaho is great. Yeah. Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Kaya Gerber.
He's banging her too.
Yeah.
He's loaded. He's got El Diablo.
Right. And now, if you're an 8.5 and you're at the bar, you need not apply.
Right. If Pete's in that bar, you're done.
Right.
Wow.
If Whoopi and Ted Danson, like circa 1990.
I went to that roast.
Where he was in blackface?
Yeah, I was there. We were the first reporters to ever be allowed to see a roast like that in person. And the line that's really gross, but I got to tell you, and he comes out in blackface, right? Yeah. And Whoopi Goldberg wrote all the jokes for him. She wrote all the jokes. And he goes, yeah, my mom found out I was dating Whoopi. I apologize for this. It's a terrible thing. My mom, she said, Ted, what are you going to do? Think of your kids, your children. He goes, Mom, relax. I'm only fucking her in the asshole. It was so gross. That was like his opening. And Whoopi wrote it.
All right, but my point is, the point remains, great-looking dude, not a great-looking chick, and that didn't get us any closer to her.
Is the Damaho effect a recent thing? Because
No.
I'm thinking of the great example of Lyle Lovett, which I don't
Well,
think
that's a good one, too.
I don't think
Julia
he went
Roberts.
much beyond Julia.
No,
Julia Roberts.
Lyle Lovett did not continue on from the Damaho. He's just the one and done.
He did. I don't follow his
either,
dating
but-
career that closely.
I find this man very sexy, but I don't know that everybody. I don't know that he's considered that in general. But Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton, then
Billy Bob.
girls I think started looking like, ooh, Billy Bob. I guess
He's
I never thought
He's
about
a buddy
that.
of mine. He's a fun dude. He's had a ball with girls.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, that's the stories. I'll tell you real quick. It is quick, but it's hysterical. You want to cue that up again if you want to after this. But essentially, when he did Sling Blade, people were obsessed with that. That whole voice, Carl. He had a fling with Julia Roberts, but she wanted him to fuck her as Carl. That guy. She wanted that guy. No. Yeah, like that.
French fries.
It's time for
There you go,
Allegedly with AJ Benza.
Well, that's
Call
a
that
Billy
so
Bob.
we don't get sued.
He told me that.
If I can also,
Opinions expressed in this segment are lightly researched.
if I can put my AJ hat
based
on,
hearsay and rumor from
I
those
also
connected
was
within the
told
entertainment
that
industry.
Angelina Jolie, not that great in bed.
I heard
Well,
that
there
too.
you go.
But again, we remind
Yeah.
I'd roll the dice.
Yeah, give it a shot.
All right.
And only AJ, host of Fame is a Bitch, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
All right. We're taking
yeah,
a break.
news?
We're doing the news. Yeah, we'll do the news.
Before
Take a break?
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Give me the news with Grad, news with Gina Grad, breaking, viral, weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gina Grad, stuff they saw on TMZ, Joe Biden, Kamala. Beat news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
I lined up some entertainment stories. Maybe AJ has a little insight on some of these. A story I've been very interested in because I'm such a huge fan and it had been very much under wraps until now. John Mulaney. I really want to hear what you have to say about all this because now we know he was in rehab, I think, twice.
More than that, but go ahead.
Okay. Divorced or is in the process of divorcing, I think it's Anna, his wife, who he always brought up in stand-up. Now with girlfriend Olivia Munn, and they're having a baby.
She's pregnant.
So he confirmed that on the Seth Meyers show on Late Night. 1 year ago, Mulaney entered rehab for alcohol and coke abuse, relapsed, spent another 100 days in rehab, and a sober halfway home.
Yes.
Olivia Munn fed People, allegedly, magazine, the details from the jump. The magazine was the first to report she was dating Mulaney even before he filed divorce. There was claims that some of those pictures look kind of staged. But this is interesting, and it's a really interesting interview he has with Seth Meyers. He opened up about the intervention and the rehab, and here's kind of a funny little clip from Late Night talking about how he knew he was walking in on an intervention.
Okay.
You know the gambit that I was going to dinner with a friend from college at their apartment, and so you were the first person I saw as I walked through the doorway where I knew this was an intervention. So I'm like going to dinner with a friend from college, going to dinner with a friend from college, going to dinner with a friend from college. What's Seth Meyers doing here?
Yeah. He I always assumed he was gay.
That was part of his act too.
Yeah. So okay, even if he's not. Here's the thing. No one reported this either, but his wife was in rehab as well.
Really?
Yep. And I gave it to Page Six. They run it and they credited my show. His wife was in rehab for self-harm. She's a cutter.
Oh.
And she went to like a really fancy one in Connecticut. I forget the name, something Hills, some beautiful place. That's $60,000. He's done almost six. Those sort of things.
Stints.
Yeah. Not all tremendously long, but he's done like at least 5 or 6 of those. But I had a feeling when I saw the wife and I saw this nutty fucking girl, that's his wife. If you ever look at her Instagram, Jesus Christ, you go, clearly the guy wanted out. clearly the guy wanted to be away from this girl. Then she's cutting herself. I'd reach for some cocaine too to just calm myself down. She looks like the kind of girl you have to run away from, and he married her.
He said in one of his stand-up specials, like, my wife said, you could say anything you want about me, just don't say that I'm a bitch, or, so I think she was already worried about that.
Maybe.
Max Zapata. I'm trying to figure out what year Ted and Whoopi were together.
93, I think.
Nuts.
I think 93.
They met on the Arsenio Hall show in 98.
No,
they were friends, but then in April of 92, they were making Made in America, and that's when they became romantically involved.
Yeah.
Wait, they met in 90? They met in 88. 88.
They met in 88, but that's when he said Whoopi was a sexy, funny woman.
Right. And the roast was 92 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it went all the way to November of 93.
Yeah.
I know nothing about her. Any news about Olivia Munn?
The pregnant, this new story? No, I found it ridiculous. I happen to think she's gorgeous or a lot of fun. I thought it was crazy. They liked each other. They met at a party years ago and nothing really happened because he was married and they just picked up again. I find her to be a very, I don't know, she gets around to get her story out. She's very opportunistic. And I thought this was going to be another one of those things. And I saw a picture of her a couple of days ago that they didn't mention pregnancy, and I said, she's fucking pregnant. You could tell, like, she got thicker. No, I mean, no big deal. But I think she's beautiful, but she's a bit of an opportunistic person, I think. I think she always wants to be noticed and seen doing something with special people.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know a hell of a lot about her, but...
Well, the full Dancing with the Stars cast has been revealed, and I got it for you here. I'm just going to go through all the names.
It's a 30th season.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a couple times a year.
Wow.
Maybe. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Former Bachelor star Matt James.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
I know.
These people.
Mel C from the Spice Girls.
She'll be fun.
Mel C.
Country singer Jimmy Allen.
Don't know him.
This is my favorite. This is somebody that only Christy knows and nobody else. Peloton cycling director Cody Rigsby.
Oh my God!
A guy you watch on
Christy
Peloton.
loves her
watch?
Peloton
He's the
instructors.
video instructor guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'll tell you the winner when you're done. I'll tell you who's gonna run away with this thing.
Pro wrestler Mike the Miz Mizanin.
The Miz.
Actor Martin Cove.
Oh, Marty Cove.
Yeah,
Cobra
we
Kai.
definitely got to get him back here.
Good.
Jojo Siwa, Lori Loughlin's daughter Olivia J.
That's the one. That's the one. So, didn't she pay her penance by going to jail? Now they have to bring her. Obviously, the girl's going to go on there for ratings, and they're going to try to
Damage control.
Yeah, but she's not a star, so we have to get rid of that name on the show. It's
Just
not
put
Dancing with the Stars.
No, just put Dancing with the Stars ?
Better, but I'll tell you who's going to win.
Quotation marks.
Yeah.
JoJo Siwa has to have a same-sex partner. So pretty soon, within the next season, there's going to be a transgender somebody, and they're going to have their own thing. But the winner's going to be the little gymnast, Jen.
Well, let's see. There's Olivia Jade, Nets basketball player or former Iman Shumpert.
Iman Shumpert's got the beautiful hot wife, the real sexy singer. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who.
Yeah.
I gotta look her up.
She's the chick who did the video with Kanye West's song. She's dancing in a workout room.
Is she a video vixen?
So this girl's body. Can you guys find
that girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one
Wait,
that's
No, there was a video, I didn't know Kanye put out, but there was a video that was put out 8 years ago or whatever with this female dancer that the most incredible body.
insane.
I've seen
She's
in your
dancing
life.
in a gym, it looks like, and she's kind of sweaty, and it's like flash dance on steroids.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
beautiful.
Gymnastics gold medalist Suni Lee
She's going to win.
and actress Melora Hardin, who most of us best know as Jan from The Office.
Yeah, I like her. Okay.
And that's going to begin on the 20th.
Well, so from what I know, because I did it and Chrissy Yamaguchi won,
Shocking.
it's two things.
Right.
If you have the Olympic background, that doesn't much matter. The sport, you got the drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the
through
drive,
pain.
now, the thing about Dance with the Stars, and
How long did you last?
that'll look good long enough. Plenty long.
No, I gave you like credit.
No, like 4. The thing is this. So when I did it, I was doing morning radio. I had a couple of young twins. I was getting up at, 4:30, 5 in the morning every morning. I'd go into work. I always have like 4.5 other projects I'm working on.
You were filming The Hammer, right?
I did film The Hammer, but
Or you're promoting it, maybe.
I was maybe promoting it. I said to my partner, Julianne Hough, I said, I got 2 hours a day. That's what we got.
Wow.
And whatever we can accomplish in 2 hours a day, good, and however far we get in 2 hours a day, And she's like, well, at the end, people are going 12, 13 hours a day, like for practice. Now, the thing about it is I'm out here. I got a morning gig. I got other gigs I'm doing. I got young twins. Chrissy Yamaguchi flies out here from North Carolina. They put her up at the dance apartments.
Sure.
And she's got nothing but dance practice all day. Now, she's phenomenal, and she's got the heart of a lion. But she's got 10 hours a day to put into this. I got 2 hours a day to put in it. It's going to show.
I think that,
and I would probably be better if they did a cap, and then they moved it incrementally. Like they go for the first dance, 3 hours practice, whatever you can get done.
Okay.
Well, because everyone's from somewhere else. There's literally people that are trying to run their business and trying to carve out a couple hours for practice. And then there are people that just came here and that's all they're doing. They don't have their husband. Like Chrissy Yamaguchi's like my kids, my husband. No one's out here. I'm just here to dance. You know, sorry.
Football, they limit the number of hours you can practice.
Yeah, they're trying. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
There's no, but, you know.
College football's like no pads, 7-on-7, no 11-on-11, like they have in high school, too. You can't start this early. It's unfair. So they should do like a 2 hour, then step it up to 4 hour, then step it up to 6 hour, or whatever it is. Now, Yamaguchi. AJ, you'll like this story. We were going to see Oprah. We had 2 limousines, 2 big stretch limousines. And I remember 2 things. I remember Yamaguchi wasn't in my limousine. It took 6 of us and put in one, 6 in the other. I remember Penn Jillette was sitting there, all 400 pounds of him at the time. And his knees, it was like the insides of his knees were like the Hatfields and the McCoys. Like it was like they couldn't come within 2 feet of each other. Like he's sitting in his limousine as if he's not taking up enough room. He's airing his balls out because the legs all spread out back there. Everyone else is packed in their corner. And everyone's like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? We're going to Oprah. We're going to do the announcement. And I said, who's going to win? Chrissy Yamaguchi's going to win. She's an Olympic champion. She does this shit all day. I mean, she's got millions of hours, banked or whatever. And then these idiots all looked at me and they said, yeah, but she's an ice skater. I said,
so stupid.
I said, okay, what if I told you I could juggle? Would you go, I could juggle on a unicycle?
Right.
You know what I mean? Would you go, yeah, but how is he when he's standing on carpet? And I can still fucking juggle. That's how it works. And even better now that I'm off the unicycle.
It's not slippery.
So they all kind of looked at me and they were looking at me and they're like, okay, yeah, Yamaguchi, yeah, that makes sense. And then I said, well, we do have one shot. We got one chance. One chance only with Yamaguchi. And they all kind of leaned in, and I said, she's Asian. Those people are notoriously lazy. She's not going to practice. And they all looked at me like, what? What? It's like, yeah. It's like, huh? It's like when you fart on your dog. They were like, what? And then they all started laughing because they're racist.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
And she destroyed everybody. Yeah. She was literally better than her partner at a certain point. Yeah. Well, why should she be? She's a world-class athlete.
And that's why the gymnast is going to win, because she's young and she has the spirit and the athletic ability. And
not only that, but they have been downloaded a routine so many million times in their head. When they first try to choreograph stuff with you, they go right, skip, left, right. And you go, both feet?
Yeah.
They go, no. Now, you have to come online. Like, you have to really pay it. You're not used to paying that kind of attention. She is. She's going to do it.
But if you've ever watched one episode of Dance Moms and know what little girls like JoJo Siwa have been put through, I imagine she's probably pretty good.
Anyone with a background is going to have a good base.
Screamed at and dancing.
They asked me to do the first season ever. I was asked. My agent said to me, do you want to do this show? I said, was it dancing with the... I said, I can't do that shit. That's going to be a show? Like, what kind of dancing? No, like the tango and foxtrot. I said, this absolutely not. First of all, this is the work. Like, I thought, he was like, no, I know you're not going to, don't worry about it. I just want to tell you it was offered to you. Of course not. It was turned down so quickly. It was like an embarrassment the first season or so. You thought, you can't do this show. You'll not work right again. Now it's become the show that propels you, everything else in your life into the forefront again. You become more famous. Your business grows. You put about 5 or 6 good weeks in there. You make a lot, not just the money they give you, but a lot of things in your life change.
Yamaguchi also, I'm telling the stage, at some point, she practiced so much she fucked her ankle up.
Oh, really?
And she was standing backstage, and I looked down and her dance heel, there's like the strap. There's a strap in the front and a strap that goes around the ankle. And in between was a golf ball size swollenness. Just like big ball on top of her foot. It was really, it's like right below her ankle on top of her foot. It's totally swollen. Like backstage, they're going to go dance. And I like walked past her and I was like, oh man. I said, look at that. Wow, your ankle's really swollen. She just goes, don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
She just went out and
Keith
fucking
Lightning
danced.
and Craps Thunder.
She probably took the needle and just went right out and danced. Like, I was like, she's going to kill us all.
Bruno Tonioni, I don't know how this guy has not been Me Too'd. He seems to me like he must have at one point grabbed some of the male contestants and tried to do something.
Wow. I don't want to.
Did it happen?
Wait, he didn't come on to me, so he's not coming on to anybody.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I was trim, had spray on tan. We have Tiana Taylor.
Oh, look at this
dancing video. You must remember this one,
insane.
I
Gina.
don't know. Let's see. Damn.
I mean, just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh shit.
Yeah, wearing a thong back and
G-string, sweaty.
Yeah, how about that move?
This is Iman Shumpert's wife.
Yeah, so she was on that show, Sweet 16 or something.
What?
Yeah,
Sorry,
she
what
popped her
show?
chest.
Did she thrust her chest?
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
This song.
Yeah, she's.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
This video is from
that's
8
the
or
move. That's the
whatever
move.
years ago. It's good.
Wow.
Okay, so she's married to Iman Shumpert. It was a Nick and a Net and the Chicago Bull and everything. They have a show on TV now, the two of them, with their babies. But she started on that show. Remember the girls who were spoiled and got their big 16-year-old birthday parties?
Oh, My Super Sweet 16.
She was on that show. So she comes from some kind of money, apparently, but that's where she got her start.
Oh.
And then she puts out a lot of music that we don't hear, but tons of streaming here, streaming there. She's quite talented.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. Pretty gay.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, let me tell you about Stamps.com. Things getting back to normal, live music, seeing a movie, going to the post office. You can skip the post office with Stamps.com. Mail and ship anywhere, anytime, right from your computer. We've used Stamps.com here for over 11 years. They're one of our first sponsors. We use them to ship out books and merch and everything we do here, paperwork. It's all done with Stamps.com. Up to 40% off post office rates, up to 66% off of UPS shipping rates. You can switch and save feature, quickly compare carriers, and find the best rates every time. There's no reason to go to the post office anymore. They got the scale. You can weigh, I think it's up to about 80 pounds, and it'll print out the exact right amount of postage. It's not like you kind of freehanding it, going, and you always put too many extra stamps on there because you're scared it's going to be returned. Right. They got a no-risk offer. It's a 4-week trial plus free postage and the digital scale. No long-term commitments. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, top of the homepage, and type in Adam. That is Stamps.com. Type in Adam. All right, I want to thank Brian Setzer for phoning in today. Gotta Have the Rumble, name of the album, available everywhere. Of course, AJ Benza, Fame is a Bitch and Politics is a Bitch, available on Patreon. And Pope Benza is where you can shoot him. Pope Benza 2018 is where you can shoot him on Instagram. Thanks for joining us, AJ.
I always love it.
And until next time, Adam Carolla for Brian Setzer and AJ Benza and Gina Grad and Paul Bryan saying mahalo.
Come on, relax. I'm only fucking her in the asshole. Follow